Listen to me right now, because the Carolina Panthers are not just sitting around waiting for destiny to knock on the door. They are kicking it down. We are talking about a defensive overhaul that could shake the foundations of the NFC South. Sources are buzzing, the phone lines are burning up, and Dan Morgan is ready to pull the trigger on moves that will define this franchise for the next decade. Before we break down these massive bombshells, help us build this community to 1,000 subscribers so we can keep bringing you the truth. Tuggle up, because it starts now.
The buzz surrounding the Carolina Panthers right now is absolutely deafening, and it centers on one specific area of need that has plagued this team for far too long. We are talking about getting after the quarterback. Multiple market predictions and insider reports have now identified Carolina as the clear favorite to land pass rusher Bradley Chubb in free agency. Let that sink in for a second. We are talking about a legitimate game wrecker. When healthy, Chubb is a force of nature, a man who commands double teams and ruins offensive game plans before the ball is even snapped. This isn't just a rumor. This is a strategic alignment of need and opportunity. The Panthers have cap space, they have the desperation, and they have a defensive scheme that is screaming for a premier edge rusher. But wait, it gets even deeper. Sources are indicating that Chubb isn't the only name on the list. The front office is also being linked to a veteran pass rusher with a history of 48 career sacks. We are looking at a complete philosophical shift in how this defense operates. You cannot win in the National Football League if you let opposing quarterbacks sit back in the pocket, make a sandwich, and pick apart your secondary. It is arguably the most disrespectful thing you can allow on a football field. Bringing in a guy like Bradley Chubb changes the math immediately. It changes the energy in the locker room. It tells the rest of the division that the days of Carolina being a doormat are over. However, there is a massive risk here regarding health and contract value, but frankly, do the Panthers have a choice? They have to swing for the fences. You look at the stats, you look at the pressure rates, and it is frankly embarrassing what we have seen recently. Dan Morgan knows this. Dave Canales knows this. They are trying to build a bully on defense. Imagine a defensive front that actually strikes fear into the hearts of the NFC South. That is the vision. That is the goal. But while the defense is looking to add serious firepower and aggression to the lineup, there is a situation brewing on the offensive side of the ball that has me absolutely baffled and concerned. We are hearing reports about a key departure that could leave the backfield completely exposed. You think fixing the pass rush is the only priority? Think again, because what I am about to tell you about our running back situation might just make you question the entire offensive strategy moving forward. It involves a key player leaving us to join the best team in football, and it is a nightmare scenario.
If you want to keep getting exclusive insights like this, subscribe now. We are tracking every move, every trade, and every rumor. Don't be the last to know what happens with your team.
This news regarding Rico Dowdle is a straight-up wake-up call for every Carolina Panthers fan who thought the offense was set for the future. General Manager Dan Morgan has indicated that Rico Dowdle, a player many expected to carry the load in 2025, is heading to test the free agency market next month. This is not just a minor roster tweak, this is a significant pivot. Dowdle showed flashes, he showed grit, and he showed he belongs in this league. But here's the kicker that should make your blood boil. The analysts aren't just saying he's leaving, they're predicting he's going to land with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's right, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid are circling our talent. Do you understand what that means? It means the best team in football sees value in a guy that we are potentially letting walk out the door. That speaks volumes about his potential, and perhaps volumes about our evaluation process. If he goes to Kansas City, he joins a winning machine, and we are left scrambling to find a replacement in a market that is not exactly overflowing with elite, affordable talent. Why are we letting productive players walk when we are trying to build a culture of consistency? It's baffling. The running game is a running back's best friend, but it's also the safety blanket for a young quarterback. Losing a reliable option like Dowdle puts more pressure on everyone else. Now the Panthers are already scouring the market for substitutes, but who are you going to get that offers better value? We're talking about continuity, chemistry, and trust. You don't just buy that at the corner store. This decision by the front office signals that they are looking for something different, maybe something cheaper, or maybe they have a draft target in mind. But it's a gamble. Every time you let a starter test the market, you are gambling that you can find someone better. And if Dowdle goes to the Chiefs and balls out, we are going to look foolish. It's the classic case of the rich getting richer while the struggling teams try to figure out their identity. But listen, the running back room isn't the only place where tough decisions and massive price tags are being discussed. If you're worried about the offense, wait until you hear what's happening with the secondary. There's a rumor floating around about a trade target that is so high profile, so expensive, and so game-changing, it could completely deplete our draft capital. You need to hear the price tag on this next potential move because it is absolutely staggering and involves a superstar.
We have arrived at the most explosive rumor of the entire week, and this one involves a name that carries serious weight in the National Football League: Minkah Fitzpatrick. The chatter is real, and the possibility of a trade is on the table. But before you go out and buy the jersey, you need to understand the cost. Analysts have detailed the package, and it is steep. We are talking about significant draft capital. The Panthers would likely have to part ways with premium picks to bring a safety of his caliber to Carolina. Now, let's look at this from a pure football perspective. Fitzpatrick is an elite talent. He is a ball hawk. He is a leader. He fixes communication issues in the secondary instantly. Pairing him with a revamped pass rush featuring Bradley Chubb, that sounds like a dream scenario. That sounds like a top 10 defense. However, we have to be realistic about the assets. This team has holes everywhere. We just talked about losing a running back. We need receiver help. We need depth. Can you afford to trade away the future for a safety, no matter how good he is? This is the Stephen A. Smith dilemma right here. You want the stars, you want the headlines, but do you have the infrastructure to support them? If you trade your draft picks, you are betting everything on the current roster staying healthy and performing at a peak level. It is a high-stakes poker game, and Dan Morgan is holding the cards. If they pull this off, it signals that the rebuild is over and the window to compete is now. It is an aggressive, almost reckless pursuit of talent, but maybe that is exactly what this franchise needs. We have been too passive, too careful, and too mediocre for too long. A move for Fitzpatrick is a declaration of war on the rest of the NFC South. It says we are coming for the division title. But it also puts immense pressure on the coaching staff. If you have Chubb and Fitzpatrick, there are no more excuses. You have to win. You have to perform. The defense has to be elite. There is no middle ground with a move like this. It is championship mindset or bust. The synergy between a lethal pass rush and a lockdown safety is undeniable. It forces turnovers. It creates short fields for the offense. It wins games. But the cost? The cost is the nightmare that keeps GMs awake at night. Are we ready to pay the price? That is the ultimate question. And looking at all these moves, Chubb, the running back changes, the trade rumors, it paints a picture of a team that is tired of losing. But are they moving too fast? That is what we have to decide.
This is a defining moment for the Carolina Panthers. We are looking at a potential defensive juggernaut with Chubb and Fitzpatrick, but we are also seeing key offensive pieces like Rico Dowdle potentially walk out the door to a dynasty like the Chiefs. It is a volatile mix of aggression and risk. I need to know where you stand. Would you trade the draft picks for Minkah Fitzpatrick, or is the price too high for a team still building? Do you let Dowdle walk? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now because I read every single one of them. We are building something special here, a community that demands excellence. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are watching every move, every rumor, and every transaction. Stay tuned.